Shekel was established in 1972 by two immigrants from the USSR to Israel in a small kibbutz, small village, in which they came from the mining industry. And apparently in the mining industry, mechanical scales work in a very strange way because of changes in gravitations, etc. And they were looking for solutions for that issues. So there were two engineers from Russia coming. They were working in the mining industry, and they wanted to look for a solution about the gravitation changes inside the mine. So what they took analog to digital converter, and they changed the pressure of the weight into digital format. And then they could really control, modify it, adjust it properly. This was the beginning of digital weighing. It was back in the 1970s. Everybody was weighing with a very old way of mechanical scales, which is 3,000 years old. And when they took that and they started introducing it to the market, Shekel was established. At the first, we had to convince people why digital is better than mechanical. It took us about 20 years or so. And the next stage was that we identified that this becomes a really standard of the market. There was regulation, it was acknowledged by the scientific community, and everybody was happy with that. We identified that we gained something more. It was several years later we identified that we could really identify a product by its weight behavior. When we started collecting data from the weights, the digital weights, and we gained millions and tens of millions of data entries about each and every SKU, we could really analyze it with deep data or big data tools and AI, and we could see that Diet Coke is behaving a bit differently from Coke. And we could really say the difference between this one and that one. And we have very, very sensitive sensors on one hand, and very robust sensors on the other hand. It's very flexible, it's very fast. This is the fastest in the industry. And that's the reason that most of the self-checkout companies that want to verify what you took by the weight are using Shekel. We have about 1 million points of sale around the world that are using our technology. We work the leading brands of the industry. It's Toshiba, Fujitsu, Diebold Nixdorf, several very large companies. And we have it all over the world, from US to Asia to Europe, working in most of the biggest brands of supermarkets and retail stores. We started with the product identification feature in 2018, when a young engineer came from with a brilliant idea of doing frictionless shopping, meaning that you take products off the shelf and then you could identify it. He thought first to use cameras, but then he found it's not very efficient, and he thought that if he had the weight measurement, then he could be more accurate. And then he came to Shekel and he saw our technology and he started using it, and he found out that he doesn't need a camera. And he could really use that one. So it was 2018, young engineer. We established a kind of startup within Shekel. So we have our legs in the ground, but our heads in the sky. And we're dealing with very advanced technologies of AI, machine learning, etc. on one hand, and very robust and basic hardware business of accurate weighing, regulated weighing, for healthcare, for retail, where it's the highest regulated technology in the world. We first encapsulated this technology into what we call smart fridge, which acts like a vending machine in a way, that it allows the shopper to consume what he wants without any assistance. And it's called self-shopping or frictionless shopping or unattended shopping. And basically the idea of a vending machine was that you can buy every product everywhere, anytime. And we wanted to do the same solution, but allow selling products that you cannot really sell in vending. Because in vending situation, nobody buys fresh food. The packages doesn't fit it. You want to see first what you buy before you pay. So these things were limiting the vending machine to sell snacks and soda, basically. And people wanted more and more healthy, fresh food on the go. And smart fridge was the right thing, because you can open the door, you can select what you want, and then you can return it back, and then you can go with that. So this was the idea about taking the technology of product recognition, putting it first in this simple solution. Then we extended it to frictionless stores, smart carts, many other solutions that are dealing with self-shopping. All the types of self-shopping we are now supporting with our product recognition technologies, and we are teaming up with very large companies to allow basically every common shopper to go into the store, take whatever you want, get out of the store without going through the till or through the queue, etc.